Okay, here's the car. And like I said, we bought this car in 2012. It was one of the first IQs on the East Coast. And our plan is to remove the passenger seat because it's a service car. We don't carry passengers around. We are using it to carry parts and tools. So we will remove the seat, and then also in the back, we've already taken out the back seat. You can see here, I got a piece of wood down there, but we're going to build a little system down here that will, so we can carry a spare tire. Okay, we got the seat out. It's all cleaned up. All the parts are out. Next thing we're going to do now is start to build a rack system here in the front to hold the toolboxes and parts boxes, and we're going to build a compartment in the back there to hold a spare tire. So that will be our next project. Okay, here we're going to take these two pieces of 1.5-inch aluminum tubing, 1/16 of an inch thick, and we're going to bolt it down to the original screw holes where the seat mounted. Right in there. We're going to drill holes in the tubing, and then we're going to put cross braces and build a little platform here to hold our tools and some of our equipment. We'll leave the front open here for our tool bags. Okay, we're going to take this piece of 1.5-inch tubing, and we're going to line it up on the seat where the seat bolts into the car, and we're going to line it up with the rear, hold it firm. We're going to take our felt tip pen here, and we're going to scribe a mark so we know where to drill the holes. Just like that. So what we'll do is we'll make sure we're in the center. We'll drill through the tubing, and then on the bottom we will drill 3/8 hole to allow the bolts to go through, and then on the top we'll drill a 1/2-inch hole, which will give us enough room to get a socket in there, and then we'll bolt these tubing to the original floor mounts, and then we'll start to work on our platform. Okay, in order to find the center of this tubing, it's 1.5 inches in diameter. We're going to take a 1/2 inch and a 1/4 inch, so we get 3/4 of an inch space here. And then we're going to scribe a line here so we know where the top dead center is there. And then we'll do the same thing on this end, and we'll scribe a line this way. When we drill through it, it's going to go straight down, and it'll be even on the other side. Okay, so the bottom we've drilled out 1/2-inch holes, and the top 3/4 holes. So we can take our bolts and make sure they fit through there. and then we can screw it down like that. Okay, so here are the tubes, and we are using the standard bolt holes for the seats. All good. Now we have a platform, and what we can do now is put some maybe cross braces on here, put a piece of diamond plate to support our toolboxes. Okay, now we have 3 cross pieces here. This is 2 by 2 1/8 thick aluminum angle. It's cut 16 inches each piece. I took a 48-inch piece and cut it to 3 parts, and so we're going to tack weld these braces on here, and then we'll figure out where we're going to put them, and then put a piece of diamond plate in here to act as a foundation, and so that will be the next thing that we're going to do. Okay, so here we've tack welded this aluminum angle, 2-inch angle, to the tubes, and then we're going to put our toolbox right here, like so. Okay, line that up, and then we're going to get another piece of angle, and we're going to set that up like that, and we'll tack weld that, and that will hold our toolbox in place there. And then we have more room here to put some more tools. In the back, you'll see what I did here was I drilled some slots in the angle so we could get the socket in there to remove it in case we ever want to put the seat back in. Okay, so now we see we've welded these 2 pieces of angle in here at the exact size of my toolbox, and once we tack everything, we've tacked this in, we'll have to pull out the whole frame to get a better weld position, but for now that's going to hold one toolbox. And then over here we've got all this room here to set up some more compartments to hold different sets of tools, so we'll do. Okay, so now we've tack welded all the ankle pieces on, and so now we can remove the frame from the car and put it up on the bench and get some better welds on there. Okay, here's the finished product. Everything's all welded up, all the compartments and brackets are there, and so now we're going to make some floor pieces there to fill up those gaps, and then we'll bolt it into the car, and I'll put the tools in there and you'll see how that works out. Okay, here is the finished frame, all welded up, compartments all set. So now we're going to bolt these in place through these holes. Put a little magnetic contraption here to get those bolts set. So I'm going to screw this down. I'm going to make little platforms in here out of diamond plate to cover the floor. This bracket here, if you're wondering what that is, that's so that I can build a support that will come up, lock my emergency brake here, so to prevent the car from being stolen or towed. And in New York City where I work, they love to tow cars there, even when you're legally parked. So even though it's not wouldn't prevent the car from being towed, because they could always jack it up and use a dolly, it's just it's a deterrent, and most of those guys are lazy anyway, so hopefully it'll help. Okay, let me get this bolted down. Be right back. Okay, so the framework is all done, everything's welded, diamond plates bolted in. So now we're going to put our tools in there, and we'll see how that comes out. Okay, this is my soldering welding equipment, MC tank, torch, and related pieces I need for sweating fittings together, vacuum pump, recovery system, and this is my tool bag. So all that will be in the front, take the weight of where the passenger normally sat, and so now we'll put a blanket over this to keep it concealed, but now we'll start working on the back and where we can store all our parts and of course our spare tire. Be back. Okay everybody, just an update on some of the other modifications we've made to this car. Before we start in the back, I mounted my iPhone there on the left side with a small little piece of aluminum bracket, 2x2 angle, and it's just screwed into the dash. And then of course I have the USB cable from the radio, which we just installed with the navigation and Bluetooth, so that keeps the phone charged and allows me to talk and drive at the same time, send messages and so forth. This is a Pioneer. It's a navigation and CarPlay, and it's got a lot of other options probably that I don't need, but good music channels and all those other things that come with the new technologies. Right here we have a portable desk, which I made out of some scrap aluminum pieces. It comes off very easily. It's just kind of Velcro here, and there's a hinge down here that swings. It's just duct taped on. It's just I just take that off when I don't need it. I've also installed a 400 watt inverter with two plugs and a USB port, so that I can charge my tools while I'm driving, and also my headlight and all that things I use when I'm working on refrigerators. Now here's my sealed system tools right here, mounted on that frame, which is an earlier part of the video, and I will just use a nice bungee strap to keep those in place and put a blanket over it to keep them concealed. So the next project is to start working on the back, the spare tire, and the compartments for all the parts. Okay, so thanks for watching, and I'll be back soon.